The gameplay on screen for the majority of this video is going to be from us attempting live on stream to go 100 wins and 0 losses. You can follow my Twitch in the link in the description to keep up to date with the stream. Welcome back to another video. This is the home of pro clubs, and at this point the background footage doesn't really matter. We're going to be discussing some big FIFA 20 news. Let's try and break that 76,000 subscriber mark. Any of you watching with an account who enjoy the content, please do feel free to subscribe. It's totally free and it really does help me out. FIFA 20, have they fucked it already? This is what I think they should have done. So the bearded one tweeted me saying, imagine if the created player for pro clubs carried over to the Volta, but the skill trees changed, so they played normal in pro clubs, and then the Volta, it would switch the play style. But for me, that's not enough. I think the Volta should never have existed. Hands down. Volta should be a part of pro clubs. It should have been something that was in pro clubs as a game mode you could play, as a FIFA Street. A lot of you know that we've been going on about NBA 2K a lot on this channel. They should have copied that system. EA should have gone and recognised that my player modes are a massive, massive part of what people want out of a game.
There's a few more to go. We'll try to do this as quickly as we can.
Okay, so what are we looking for here?
Can you please let us know what your game is like?
My game?
Unfortunately, EA decided a few years ago to take the game face feature out of pro clubs. You used to be able to go on EA's website, upload a photo of yourself. That would then transfer onto your virtual pro. And it was an amazing experience because it meant that you could actually feel more like you were in the game and you didn't have to rely on creating the player to look like you. And it is something that it's just totally baffling that they took out. Matt HD Game has touched on this recently. I have been talking about it for years. Pro clubs, specifically Virtual Pro, could be a huge part of FIFA. You could change the name of it to Virtual Pro. It could be its own separate game mode, and you enter Virtual Pro, and in there you can do the Volta, which is the FIFA Street style game mode. You can do 11 versus 11. You can do 5v5, 3v3. There's skill games to play in there with your Virtual Pro. You can get the accomplishments still. And it's all about having fun as your own pro. There could be a free roam section similar to that in NBA where you can walk around, you can go into shops. If they implemented a currency system with microtransactions to monetize the game mode, I genuinely think this could be bigger than Ultimate Team, but EA just don't see it. They've invested so much attention and time into Ultimate Team that for some reason they're scared that if they just invest separately into another game mode as well, that maybe it will take away from Ultimate Team and mean that they don't profit as much. Now, a lot of you might be saying, come on, JCC, that's not true. They invested in the journey. They've obviously invested a little bit in career. I couldn't even get through the sentence. The journey, though, the Volta, they do try other game modes and they do invest into them. I don't think it's the same. They know the journey isn't online. They know that Volta isn't even online with friends. That is baffling to me. They half invest in these modes and still continue to push Ultimate Team as the main thing. But I don't understand it. They could go two ways with it. They could easily promote Ultimate Team and promote a virtual pro scene. The two are not mutually exclusive. That's what I do not understand. You could easily play Ultimate Team, create your dream team with new icon Zidane coming into FIFA 20 and Hullet and Ronaldo and Messi in the same team, and it doesn't matter, you can do that if you want. And then you can have the virtual pro aspect of FIFA where you go in, you start with zero money, you haven't even got enough money to play and get boots, and then you end up playing some tiny little story mode, which means that you get enough currency to buy some boots and you get scouted by a team and you can do a my player journey on that offline. Then you could look at it in the same way that your appearance transfers after making a game face from that pro to your online pro, and you can play online with friends in the Volta, aka FIFA Street. Which, by the way, I only learned from FIFA Trickster yesterday that the only reason they called it Volta was because they had lost the rights to Street. Just like they lost Piemonte Calcio, Juventus, to PES. PES got the rights to PES Street, which means that they couldn't release it as FIFA Street, they had to release it as Volta. And Volta is probably the worst name of all time for anything, so they've done really well there. I mean, if I was to go up to my mates who don't play that much FIFA, maybe they get the copy, maybe they don't, they play it at mates' houses and go, "You looking forward to Volta?" They have no idea what I was talking about. Everybody knows FIFA Street, it's part of the culture, but we'll move on from that. The Virtual Pro system could have had a currency, could have had its own currency system where you can buy your way to the top like Fortnite if you want to. If EA wanted to be greedy and allow you to do that, I wouldn't personally do it, but we all know what EA are like. I think they would have done it. In this make-believe universe that I'm creating, where they actually invest all of their resources into something good and not just what nobody wants. For real though, I wish I was skilled enough at editing or creating graphics to create a free roam menu for you guys to look at right now, because what I've got going on in my head would revolutionize FIFA. Your own virtual pro, you load up the game, game face inputted, then you can go and do Volta, you can go and play pro clubs like it is now, you can go into drop-ins, you've got my player to go and play in, you can go into the arena with your pro, you've got all the accomplishments there, which do not contribute to online leveling. Maybe they contribute to your offline leveling. Maybe they're just there as something else and other content to get invested in and just play over the course of FIFA. This game mode surrounding virtual pros is just the way to go, and I cannot understand why EA haven't realized it yet. People like to create a virtual pro. They've liked to do that since the day that FIFA was released and you could build one. I think it was FIFA 08. We've definitely done a video on it before. One of those FIFAs where you could go back and actually start making your own pro, and of course pro clubs came in around FIFA 10, FIFA 11 I believe, but there's just so much potential that this guy who sits here ranting about FIFA in his room, for all of you guys who watch, can come up with why can't they. Now let's play a little bit of devil's advocate. I actually think they have these ideas. I obviously know that they are developers who they go to university, they work for years in this craft, they know it better than any of us do. There's got to be a reason they don't do it. Now, I'm not an EA game changer. I don't work for EA. I have no contact in that sense or inside information. But I do obviously speak to a lot of the people who are high up at EA. And I know that they have similar frustrations, right? So there's no point going on Twitter and calling Corey a nonce for no Pro Clubs updates. He wants the game to be as good as you do so that he doesn't have idiots messaging him all day and he gets to just relax on the beach somewhere and drink a pina colada. I don't know what he does, man. It's something deeper than that. It's the people right at the top of EA who maybe the developers come to them and say, look, there's a big push for adding this game mode in pro clubs and doing this and that, and they say, no, we're going to allocate you this amount of time so you can work on pro clubs for 60 hours a week for 3 weeks, and that's about it. And I don't know if that's how it works, but that's the feeling I get, because when I speak to people high up at EA, they know that they want to do these things. I mean, you only have to look at NBA. It's all there for them. You just have to copy and paste. I've spoken in more detail about the updates to pro clubs and stuff, and I am happy that we are finally getting updates, because for years we've just had none, and I really did worry that if we didn't get any updates in FIFA 20, we genuinely never would. There would never be any updates for pro clubs. So finally the community's got big enough, large enough, and loud enough to make an impact to EA and be like, no, this is not flying this time. I mean, if they dropped FIFA 20 and had no pro clubs changes again, you just loaded up and the divisions badges were different, it would be like some sort of cataclysmic ending for them all on Twitter. Like, you guys are nuts on Twitter. Majority of you follow me over there, or a lot of you follow me, and I see it all. So to summarize, EA know how passionate the pro clubs community is. They know how big it is. I mean, you only have to look at some of the tweets we've put out that just blow up, or just the general feel around clubs. Everybody I meet in day-to-day life, when they ask me about YouTube or what I do on YouTube, the majority of young blokes or whatever, they all know who a pro clubs is, and they all literally say the same thing. You might think I'm lying. I'm genuinely not. Everyone goes, love that game mode. Oh, we used to sweat it out. It used to be so good, but they just never changed it and we kind of got bored of it. Literally. If you just invested some time into the game mode, so maybe house rules and all of these things will get some casuals interested. I hope they add in new hairstyles, new beards, and some tattoos, because I know that will get a lot of casuals interested in clubs again, and that little bit more customization makes a big difference. But I'm not even going to say the words FIFA 21. If they don't think about it though going forwards, about this whole my player thing and how big it could be, then there really is no hope for them. I don't understand for the life of me why PES don't jump on this. A lot of you guys talk to me and you'll be commenting, you might have already left a comment about PES. Play PES, play PES. PES doesn't even have pro clubs, okay? You can't make a virtual pro and play with your friends, and it's baffling to me. If PES jumped on that, they would have my attention straight away, and so many others in the community would be playing PES on a pro club sense of things. So if anyone from PES is watching this video by any small chance, consider that. Seriously, it's all there for you. That's what people want. I don't know if this video is going to get 20,000 views, 5,000 views, 100,000 views, who knows, but for real, I cannot even explain to you how much I know that is what people want. That mode would blow up. People don't want the Volta. People don't want a journey. We don't want practice mode in pro clubs. We want an overhaul to the game mode, which incorporates all of those things and more. So somebody just step the f*** up and do it. Please. Hopefully FIFA 20 is a big one for clubs. All those changes come in. The gameplay as well that is being announced and has been announced looks good for clubs. I'm hoping they add more, that goalkeeper animations get fixed. And it would be nice to see content come to clubs throughout the year like we have with Ultimate Team and things like that with the Scream Packs and Team of the Year and all those sorts of things. It'd be nice to see something come to pro clubs throughout the year. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. If this video's got you excited, you like what you heard, please do drop a like on it. It would be good to get close to 1,000 likes. And please do go ahead and support the channel by subscribing. Like I said, it makes a big difference to me. It's totally free and it will make my day. So if you want to help me out, please go ahead and do it. I'll see you guys next time.